have been discovered. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up here to get technical, we are going to invite, once again, we've already done the introduction. Samson Lee is going to be the moderator. Here they come. Dr. Tagir, Aushev, Chou, and Vainsteins, who had very nice introductions they didn't get to hear. But here they are now. Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to come and talk about the proof of everything. All right, Samson, it's all yours. Take it away. All right, Dr. Aushev, there you go. Jonathan, Jeff. All right.
Thank you, Andrew. Hi, everyone. I am sorry to just get off the plane this morning from Dubai, so I didn't jet lag. So now I try my best. It's very good. Yeah, so we have a very interesting topics today. Is proof of work, proof of concept, proof of state, peace and time, and you probably hear more proof of something from time to time. But we not intend to go into very technical or mining focus today, but more even should be focused on actually the impact to the society and how this different consensus algorithm may factor or facilitate the future of the decentralized society. So may I start maybe from a quick introduction of the panel. So I'll start for myself briefly. I'm Samson Lee, and people call me Sam. I'm founder and CEO of CoinStreet. So CoinStreet is a decentralized investment bank enabling the business ecosystem for crypto economy. So what we do is all the way from ICO advisory to running a crypto fund. We run our OTC desks for some large block trade, Bitcoin trading. We have our white label trading platform, and also ICO advisory and running events, more investor-focused events as well.
Thank you. My name is Tagir. I'm head of the lab in Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, and my personal view that the university not only have to share the knowledge to the science and innovations, but also there is the future feature of the universities is to vision and to provide the view of the future. So we can see the blockchain technology from this perspective, and we're interested to study and learn the fundamental progress of the blockchain and see how the blockchain will evaluate this time.
Hi everyone, I'm Chou, co-founder and CEO of bToken. bToken is a decentralized home sharing platform. So we're based in San Francisco. We allow guests and hosts to be able to transact on our platform for a place to stay. We had our token sale at the end of January. We were one of the most oversubscribed ICOs to date, with over 100,000 people on our whitelist. And more recently, we're just building and trying to get out to more conferences in order to accommodate everyone here. So if you're interested in the home sharing platform, please come talk to me.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Vainsteins. I represent Enecuum, blockchain of tomorrow. We are basically making a completely new blockchain protocol that solves most of the problem of security scalability, and it's also very fast. It has currently more than 60,000 transactions per second. The company is based in Hong Kong. We are currently on a private sale, and one of the key features that is completely puts us in a little bit different view from all the other ones is that we support truly decentralized mobile mining as well.
Okay, thank you. So we got a very interesting mix of different background on the panel today. So for the topic, proof of work, proof of state, proof of space, actually, and time. So I just want to first start off with just getting a general understanding from everybody of how this, and maybe you are working on more proof of something as well. So how about we start with there? Yeah.
Okay, so we are currently working on 3 different consensuses, which is proof of work, proof of activity, which is the mobile mining part, and at the same time proof of stake. So basically we have three of those mechanisms, and each of them they have completely different mathematical calculation and different part in certifying small contracts or transactions. We actually see that it's much more secure and it's much more decentralized. Plus, we give much bigger incentive actually to mobile miners and not proof of work miners, because just a small question to the audience. Who from the audience here have ASICs in the data center? Can you raise the hand, please? Who has mobile phone in the pocket? All the people, right? So this is why we think the true decentralization is basically means that when you can use your mobile device in order to put blockchain node on top of this, and this will enable really transformation of blockchain and optimization of processes in countries where it's really needed. Because in Europe, in the United States, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in super developed countries, you have processes that are defined for like maybe 60 years and they're working. They're not perfect, you can optimize them, you can increase the value, revenue, but they're working. In Africa, in Latin America, in some parts of Asia, virtually most of the processes are still manual. So in order to bring blockchain there, you cannot put things in a data center. Maybe you can, but it will take you a lot of time. Because virtually the electricity sometimes is just 4 hours per day. I was living in Africa and Angola, I know. So the only way to do it is to use tools that every person has, which is the mobile phone and internet. So as long as you can utilize that, you can put a lot of applications on top and you can really create a fully decentralized environment. Otherwise, it's always some kind of browser in the back, like Amazon Web Services, single cloud, what kind of centralization is that? Or if you're using several data centers of one company, one single internet service provider, that's it, this is not decentralization. If you have fiber cut, you're gone. So that's my point of view.
Cool. I'll talk about consensus algorithms from an Ethereum dApps point of view. So for us, we are built on the Ethereum blockchain. So Ethereum is currently proof of work and eventually promises to be proof of stake. That's the consensus algorithm that we're using technologically. But for dApp, the main motivation for consensus algorithms is to encourage good behavior on the platform. And one of the main things that we spend a lot of time thinking about is how do we make sure that actors stay good and continue to perform good actions. One of the components of our ecosystem is a decentralized arbitration, which means if something is wrong in your stay during home sharing, how do we resolve that in a decentralized way? Because in the current days, you call a customer care center and they'll take care of the problem for you. But in a decentralized solution, you basically allow other people to act as arbiters or judges and solve this problem. So we've been looking a lot at earn.com and their innovation of the earnable token, which essentially is not technological, but it allows, similar to proof of activity, ways for you to perform and do good things and be rewarded for it. So that's a lot of my thoughts there. It's not only just proof of work and proof of stake, but also how do we encourage good behavior on the platform?
Well, there is the many different proof of something, and new appears actually. Some of them famous, some of them very little known yet. And but what we see from the fundamental point of view, what the problem of any blockchain systems is that, as partially already told previously, that blockchain, the idea of the blockchain is a completely decentralized system, while we see that the proving of the blockchain is very well depends on the CPU power, which means that it is actually completely centralized. And this fundamental problem of the current blockchain should be solved somehow in some new concept of the proof. And I consider it as the very beginning stage of the technology, which should change quite quickly, and some new proof will appear which will really make it completely decentralized. In this sense, in this case, the blockchain will just fly.
Thank you. It's very important for the point that in the blockchain society, this consensus is required to make a decentralized system or decentralized society possible, right? But different way of algorithm, as you say, now we are at the proof of work. So many of you might have been to different conferences. A lot of the industry leaders also saying the proof of work is like a stone age for blockchain, right? And proof of stake is coming. But what about proof of space and proof of time, right? So I keep hearing more about it, but haven't seen much deployment, right? So how do you see, and also Jeff, you mentioned proof of activities as well, right? So how do you see this could improve the whole algorithm, and what might you even see the next stage might be that will become?
I'm a super practical person. I'm coming from a very big enterprise experience in companies like Canonical, Ubuntu, and Huawei as well. From my perspective, if it works, why not? You know? But I think beyond the hype, it's very important to really take care about the adoption of the project and not to concentrate on just pure speculation and kind of slides can take anything, but the real projects in enterprise carrier-rated environment, they require SLA, they require security. So if those proof of space and time, they provide that, I think definitely there is a space and time for that as well.
Yeah, so my thoughts here on different proofs such as proof of space and proof of time. I'm based in San Francisco and I'm starting to see some blockchain projects claim proof of time and proof of other components. My belief is very similar to that of Ethereum in the fact that anything other than proof of work is largely unproven yet. Even proof of stake, which I feel makes a lot of sense theoretically and also can reduce power consumption by quite a bit considering like global warming and such. It's unclear whether it can solve even common symbol attacks where you don't really understand like which block the proof of stake is taken from. Proof of work is probably and variants of proof of work are still the most reliable from a project looking to build on top of blockchain, at least from my perspective. So we feel more comfortable building out something that is proven and true, even at the cost of like the environment, until something else is more further developed.
Well, since I'm a high-energy physicist, space and time has a very certain meaning for me. So, and I guess if we will combine proof of work, proof of space and proof of time, we'll get a proof of continuum. So, let's think about this.
I think actually proof of space can be very important because decentralization is nice, but again, when you're looking at into enterprise graded scenarios and use cases, on the 25th of May there will be a release of GDPR, which is special compliance in the European Union to comply with regulation regarding where your data is located. It's supposed to be located in Europe. To some extent, in some countries, it's supposed to be located only in that country. And there are like I think 20 different more regulations regarding privacy, security of your data. So if you can utilize proof of space by making some kind of geo-positioning in this decentralized environment, to still use public blockchain, but rather in specific country or still limited per region, that will make a lot of sense with the GDPR compliance.
Yeah. One of the biggest issues this year on the whole industry is scalability. Right? So there was many new blockchain coming out and trying to solve the scalability. So the algorithm for consensus, that's why it's very important. As we all know, proof of work now, as you say, most proven, but yet very costly. You all know the consumption power. The more people now, I'm sure you're all hearing more and more of your friends trying to come into the mining space. Actually, the more people coming in, the more complicated the mathematical problem it becomes, and it takes more power, right? And also when reaching to the limit of, for example, Bitcoin, and the mathematical power is also getting very complicated and costs a lot of energy. So it is not a matter of happen or not, is when, right? It must move away from proof of work, but whether it's proof of stake or proof of space and time. For those who may be new, proof of space and time mainly is referring, because now many devices connected to the network have idle storage and bandwidth. So it is an idea how to utilize those idle bandwidth and storage. Also contributed to the mining. So what Jeff is working on is very interesting. So we can have a more cost-effective way to enable the whole blockchain industry to grow. But if we go to beyond the technical, right, and really, I think one day we'll for sure find a more optimal way to achieve the consensus algorithm, and then to enable the decentralized society. But how do you see that will impact the whole, society or like humanity or how it works, economics?
If we look how our society looks now, we can say that the world actually is very connected. I mean, we have hundreds of thousands Facebook connections in the real life. But indeed, these connections has different meaning what was the friendship, usual meaning in the previous old time. And it means that people, instead of being connected, became disconnected, even though they have many friendships in the Facebook. So, in this sense, the blockchain can help actually to get people connected back in the meaning we used to have. What I mean is that the personal value in the society, the personal reputation, can become the main asset of the person, which in terms of the blockchain, so every person can have his own token or his own coin, and his reputation valued by other people in the blockchain network or in the world will become the main asset and the source of income for the person. And this is important because now actually, roughly speaking, we're working for the money. But it is less efficient if people will work for their reputation. So this just it.
Yeah, I would say in a true decentralized world, the two main benefits are probably first, it's censorship resistance in the fact that no government or central authority would be able to tell you, hey, this is how it's done. You would have the ability to speak for yourself with no one forcing you to do anything. The second part is still a participation problem, because even if everyone here in this room had the ability to make and participate in a decision, it's unlikely that all of us would have the motivation to do so. So in order to make it worth our time or make it worth our participation, we need to create incentives, whether that's monetary or status or some other component, in order for us to participate in this ecosystem. So I think a large discussion is just how do these incentives work, even if a true decentralized ecosystem were to occur, to make all of us participate and make it like as fair as possible. And I think that's just as important as the technological innovation behind the space.
I think it's very similar to the last frame and matrix between Neo and Agent Smith. So the governments are Agent Smith, and blockchain is kind of new. When you have governments are just afraid, or big corporations are afraid of change, but unfortunately, right now it's the matter of either you accept it or you will be not it, kind of. So they need to accept it, they need to regulate it. The regulation is super important, you know, to move away all the scammers, all the fraudsters that are located in this business, because they are actually making it very hard for real projects to be successful. And when that will be done, and when people will receive guarantee that their investment is actually protected somehow by the government, at least on the same level as current stock market, this will fly as peanuts in the air, and everybody will go and use it.
Okay, this is very interesting. So may I sum up? Actually, in the decentralized world, fully decentralized world, Dr. your point is very interesting. Is actually people can tokenize themselves, right? So everybody can tokenize themselves, have a token. And Jonathan's comment is very interesting. It's actually in the decentralized world, people is actually more connected and get incentivized for more different organizations, right? So maybe they can just work at home and work for different corporations and get incentivized for what they do and associated with what they're interested in. And Jeff, your point is very interesting. Actually, in a decentralized world, it's make it more easy to regulate, right? And it's more trust, mutual trust in society. All right. Thank you very much.
No, gentlemen, you're done. Samson, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank our panel. Way to go. Wow. I'm so glad we cracked the case of the missing panel. You guys made it up here and got it. This is what I like. I like getting, when we get deep into the weeds, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. You guys did a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, big round of applause for our panel for giving it up today. There we go. Again, I'm sorry to have to shoot them off, but we are running short on time today because we just have way too much content packed into too short a time. That's good. Sure, we'll leave some mics up here to break something down. That's great. Because we got...
Hello, Ivan. Tell me a little bit about Hong Kong blockchain community and what is the event here?
So actually, blockchain community in Hong Kong is very large from the one perspective, but the key persons here, they know everybody, so it's like a small world. And of course, it's an international community, so a lot of people are coming to Hong Kong for a lot of events. So every week here is like 5 events, each day one event, blockchain or cryptocurrency. And so actually the community is quite specific. So people really care about their reputation and about trust. So if you fall one time, then nobody will talk with you another time. This kind of community here. And Block O2O actually is organized by Exchange. It's a very active participant of Hong Kong blockchain community. So the head of Exchange, Juan Lee, is quite trustable person here in Hong Kong. So everybody from regulators to banking and to legal advisors and blockchain community leaders and finance team. So yeah, for Exchange it's quite easy to organize an event like this and to collect best people all over the world actually, because there are people from US, Europe, many people from Russia, many people from Asia, China, Hong Kong, Singapore. Yeah, quite good.
Okay, thank you. What kind of project supports local community?
Actually, in Hong Kong, historically, it's the center of finance, and that's why Phystech projects are mostly preferable here, so supported here. But right now, more attention is focused on health tech projects as well. So Phystech and health tech in Hong Kong is two major things, and a lot of projects here are happening in this area.
What is Enecuum looking for Block O2O?
Again?
What
panel speech here, so of course we want to get more networking, more explosion, and to introduce our project to community. And actually, so Hong Kong community is already well known about us, but we want to introduce to more like communities who came from all over the world, from Asia, and so yeah, and of course there are many projects who can do their project based on our product, who can do their ICO, who can do their application, so a lot of things. So this is our another target.